Hey there, it's Tina Forsyth here of tinaforsyth.com, author of The Entrepreneur's Trap. I want to talk to you today about dating before you get married. And I'm not referring to your personal life. I'm actually referring to your business and to your team and to the people working with you or people you're considering to have work with you, right? I see a lot of entrepreneurs out there who struggle in the sense of trying to find the right fit, and then when they find the right fit, it's not working out. You know, ultimately the bottom line is, at the end of the day, I don't care if you have the best interview process in the world. That certainly helps. You know, but at the end of the day, you don't know what it is to work with somebody until you're actually working with them, until they're actually on the job. And a mistake I see entrepreneurs make quite often is what I call the Vegas marriage scenario. So you connect with somebody, you know, it seems like they're going to be a really great fit. You may really like that person. I want you to be aware of this. Just because you like someone does not mean that they're going to be a good fit. This happens especially or more so probably with women entrepreneurs as opposed to men. But you know, you really like the person and you hit it off and you had great conversations and all of that. And you start talking about how you're going to work together long term, and you may even go ahead and sign contracts about long-term retainers and all kinds of fun things, right? Then you start working with that person. And even though, you know, you may try to work it out and work out some kinks, you just come to realize that this is not going to be a good fit for you or them, potentially, and that it's not what you thought it would be. Because really, at the end of the day, you don't know what it is to work with somebody until you're working with them. But if you've set up the stage for it to be this long-term relationship already, you know, the Vegas marriage scenario, it's actually a lot harder to end the working relationship then. Right? Because you essentially have to get divorced from somebody. You know, contractually, depending what's in the contract, that will come into play because you should have a signed contract. That should come into play. But even if you do or don't, even above and beyond that, if you've set the stage that it's going to be a long-term relationship and you've made promises and been talking about all kinds of things, it's harder, much, much harder to end a relationship there. I always highly recommend, when you're adding someone to your team, that you start with what I call a dating period. And it could be as simple as, let's pick a project to work on together. And if it works out great for me and it works out great for you, then we can talk long term, right? It might be a specific project. It might be a period of time. You might buy a chunk of hours from them. You might say, let's try working together for a month and see how it goes. And if it's working out really great on both sides, awesome. We'll talk long term. You might say, let me buy a chunk of 10 hours from you. If you're just getting started and you're looking to hire a VA, great. Use the 10 hours, wonderful. Use them up and it's not working out. Thank you very much. Didn't work out for me. You know, we're going to call it quits at this point, right? Could be a bigger project if you're hiring somebody like a PR person or whomever. Donna, who works with me, who's my PR and social media gal, you know, she helped me with my book launch in the fall. And that essentially was a dating project for us. You know, I hired her to help with the book launch. We had a plan. She did a bunch of stuff for me. We're continuing to work together now. You know, we've gotten married, if you will. We're continuing to work together because we had that dating period. If you're looking to hire an online business manager, we always recommend that you have that initial dating period, the initial 90-day dating period. You know, an online business manager is a pretty key role. They have to really get in and learn you and your business, and you need to get to, you know, work through all the kinks of everything there. Could be a slightly longer dating period of 90 days, at the end of which, working out for you, working out for them, great. You make it official, right? But highly, highly recommend this, and don't be afraid to ask someone for this. People will probably, anybody you look to hire will usually come to you with their retainers, with their own agreements and expectations and the way that they probably have always done things in the past. But that doesn't mean you can't say to them, hey, listen, would love to ultimately be able to work long-term together, but I prefer to work on, you know, a first month together. Let's give it a month, just have a month contract essentially, do whatever needs to be done, or hey, why don't I buy a chunk of time from you, do whatever needs to be done, then we can take it from there, right? You don't have to just fit into someone else's structure, flow, etc., just because that's the way it's set up, right? So don't be shy in asking for this, because chances are not a lot of people talk about it or think about it this way, but I ultimately want you to find the right fit. And if you can approach it from this perspective and set it up as a dating period, and if things don't work out, it's just so much easier to end at that point or to move on than it is if you've set agreements and expectations and commitments and promises and all of that from a long-term perspective, right? It's never fun to try to end any of those things. So ultimately, it's about finding the right person. That's what I'm looking for you, regardless of where you're at in the stage of your business growth. It's Tina Forsyth here. Until next time, take care, everybody. Bye now.